Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of Toddster's Magical Mystery Review. I'm your host Toddster, and today we're going to take a look at an album, you might say helped inspire the name of this show. We're going to take a look at the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour. Originally came out as an EP in England, December 8th, 1967 on Parlophone. Yet in America, it came out as an album because EPs didn't mean a thing in America. So yeah, and this is the soundtrack to their third movie. So what was happening around this time? Well, earlier that year, 1967, they just put out Sgt. Pepper. Being the greatest album ever made. And the question was, how to follow that up. Well, they decided to make a movie, and so and they decided to make it themselves, direct it and write it themselves. But in the end, the movie was a critical flop, and I'll be talking about the movie in an extra review. But the music, however, was a different story, and was still a success. And so let's talk about the songs. So we start off with the title song, Magical Mystery Tour. That's a song from Paul. Paul had this idea of like a bus trip, of a mystery tour, as they call it, because you go on a bus tour and yet they never tell you where, And yeah, so it sort of has the same vibe as as Sgt. Pepper's title song, but yet doesn't have the punchiness of it. But it's still a good song. It's still a great song. And then we go into The Fool on the Hill. That's another song from Paul. Largely inspired by the Maharishi, which they had met and went to his seminar in Bangor, Wales. That's a bit of a mouthful. Yeah, it's another good song. Yeah, it's a good song. Yet even though the song is in major key, the wonderful chorus is in minor. So that's interesting. And then we go into the only Beatles instrumental, Flying. And yes, the only song credited to all four Beatles. Bit so, but interesting as well. And then we go straight into George's Blue Jay Way. Yeah, he wrote this while waiting for his their press officer, Derek Taylor, who was living in L.A. And so George wrote that tune, and named after a street in L.A. And yeah, it's another trippy song. Yet you hear bits of the song played in reverse, but you hear the beginning of the song, you sort of hear the ending in reverse, and then when it gets to the end of the song, you hear the beginning in reverse, and then we go into Your Mother Should Know. It's a song for Paul, which he wrote specially for the film. The one where they're all dressed up in tuxedos and dance about. Let's all get up, da 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 da. Yeah, it's another music hall inspired tune. So like When I'm 64. Yeah, it's one of my personal favorites, and then we finally hear a song from John, the fantastic I Am the Walrus. Now, I guess John was inspired by a whole bunch of things, most notably because his old grammar school back in Liverpool he heard that they were analyzing Beatles songs and Beatle lyrics, and John thought, just write a little piss take, try to analyze this as well, and then, and I guess he was also inspired by a police siren, which he usually hear every day at his house. So he tried to emulate that on the keyboard. And yet, and the yellow matter custard, that was a nursery rhyme, which he used to know back in school. And he even includes the King Lear radio play, which was broadcast on the radio just as the same time they were recording it. Yeah, and whoa, what a song! What a trippy song! And so that's the first side. That's the EP, and then we go into the second side, and we get the singles, and we go to its A side. I'm Hello Goodbye. The B side was I'm the Walrus, but Hello Goodbye. Yeah, I'm not too crazy about this song. Bit too poppy. Yeah, it's still a fun song, especially towards the end. Hey la, hey hello, and so and then we go into, in my opinion, their best single, Strawberry Fields Forever and Penny Lane. Now, Strawberry Fields, in case you probably know, was written by John. He was thinking about the old Salvation Army home, which he used to visit as a kid back in Liverpool, and yet you probably know that they made two versions, each with different style, different keys, and different tempos, and yet John comes and said, let's put them together, and in the way, and that must have been a huge risk for George Martin to put them together. And nowadays you could edit it like that, just like that on computer, but in those days, wow, pretty innovative and unique, and the core, and I love the chords on the choruses. The minor sevenths is lovely, and what a song. One of his best, well, actually, in my opinion, his best song ever. We go from the dark, haunting Strawberry Fields to the happy and sunshine Penny Lane. Yeah, this is Paul's opposite to John's Strawberry Fields. And yet, just as in Strawberry Fields, those the chords are very unique. Especially the minor and the flattened seventh chords, and and how it goes into another key in the chorus, and wonderful trumpet solo from David Mason. It's absolutely brilliant. And then we go into Baby You're a Rich Man, which was the B-side to All You Need Is Love. It's another song which John Paul had two unfinished pieces, just like in A Day in the Life, but it doesn't have the same. It's not as great as A Day in Life, in my humble opinion. But we finally end the album with All You Need Is Love. It's A-side, and John wrote this especially for the Our World satellite broadcast, and and what a performance, and what a great moment, and how they mixed sort of mash up different songs at the end, Green Leaves and In the Mood, and you hear John singing She Loves You at the end. It's wonderful, and what a positive message, all you need is love. So holds true, especially to me. So yeah, that's the album. So let's take a look at the packaging. Now this is the album cover, and yet this picture here is the EP cover, and as you can see, this is, they're all dressed up in animal costumes, which they wore on the I'm the Walrus film sequence. Yeah, and I just love how Beatles spelled out in stars, and yet they both the LP and the EP came with a booklet, and let's skim through some of these, and yet more pictures from the movie, and sort of a comic strip version of the movie with illustrations from a guy named Bob Gibson, who used to work on caricatures for I don't know if it was the Melody Maker or the New Musical Express, but one of those music newspapers at the time, and he also contributed on the Beatles monthly books, the monthly magazines. So, what do I think about this album? Well, I think it's a wonderful collection of all their non-Pepper material from that year, and it's a great companion to Pepper as well. As far as my ranking, I would give this 3.5 Beatles out of 5. So there you have it. So my name is Toddster, and you've just watched another magical mystery review on a magical mystery tour. So join me again for another review, and until then, toodaloo.